The death of "I'm busy." Look at your calendar. It is a graveyard of broken promises. You say you are busy, but your screen time tells a different story. You are not busy. You are just a coward hiding behind a schedule. The 1% don't find time. They steal it from the trivial to build their legacy. Stop lying to yourself. Listen. Stop. Put down your phone. Look at the person staring back at you in the reflection of your screen. That person is a liar. You tell yourself you are busy. You tell your friends you have no time. You tell the world that your English is stuck because life is just too demanding. But let's perform an autopsy on your day. Let's look at the hours you spent scrolling through the lives of people you don't even like. Let's look at the minutes you spent overthinking a simple email. Let's look at the dead time you killed because you were too tired to fight for your own future. You are not busy. You are just a coward hiding behind a calendar. And today, I am going to take that shield away from you. The 99% live in a perpetual state of fake motion. They run in circles, sweating and panting, believing that because they are moving, they are making progress. They aren't. They are hamsters on a wheel in the middle of a desert. They spend their energy on things that don't matter. Trivial tasks, meaningless meetings, and the constant digital noise of a world that wants to keep them distracted. They use busy as a badge of honor, a way to feel important while their true potential rot in the sun. But in the Oasis, busy is a dirty word. It is the language of the slave. The 1% don't have time. They command it. They realize that time is the only currency that cannot be printed, and they refuse to spend it on anything that doesn't build their legacy. I promise you a paradigm shift that will feel like a bucket of ice water to your soul. I am going to show you that your English isn't failing because you lack a teacher or a book or a hack. It is failing because you lack the character to prioritize your own greatness. You have become a victim of the illusion of motion. You think that checking your English app for 5 minutes while sitting on the toilet is learning. It isn't. That is just mental masturbation. It makes you feel good for a second, but it yields no results. The Oasis warrior knows that fluency requires a deep, concentrated burn. It requires the silent power of focus, a focus so intense that the rest of the world disappears. Why do you lie to yourself? Let's look at the neurology of your excuses. Your brain is hardwired for survival, not for success. To your primitive brain, learning English is dangerous. It requires energy. It requires you to face the possibility of social rejection. It requires you to be a beginner again. So, your brain creates a clever trap. It makes you busy. It fills your day with urgent but unimportant tasks to keep you safe from the real work. You are addicted to the urgent because it protects you from the important. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," your brain gets a hit of relief. You have successfully avoided the battle for another day. But every tomorrow is a nail in the coffin of your dreams. The 1% have performed a coup d'état over their own biology. They have learned to recognize the busy trap for what it is, a survival mechanism of the weak. They don't wait for a free hour to appear. They know that a free hour is a myth, a unicorn that never shows its face in the real world. Instead, they steal time. They are time thieves. They steal 10 minutes from their commute. They steal 20 minutes from their lunch break. They steal an hour from their sleep. They understand that English is not a subject to be scheduled. It is an atmosphere to be inhabited. They don't study English. They weaponize their every waking moment. Look at your life. Is it a sanctuary for your growth or a graveyard for your potential? Most of you are living in a prison of your own making, and the bars are made of to-do lists. You are so focused on surviving the next 8 hours that you have forgotten to build the next 80 years. You are a slave to the clock. In the Oasis, we don't follow the clock. We follow the vision. We understand that if your why is big enough, your schedule will move. If your life depended on speaking English by next week, would you still be too busy? No. You would find the time. You would find the energy. You would become a machine. So, stop waiting for a tragedy to find your drive. Claim it now. The death of I'm busy is the birth of your power. It is the moment you stop being a passenger in your own life and start being the pilot. It is the realization that no time actually means it's not a priority. When you say, I didn't have time to practice English today, what you are actually saying is the person I want to become is less important than the TV show I watched. Own that. Feel the sting of that truth. Let it burn, because that burn is the only thing that will fuel your escape from the desert. The 1% are those who have looked at their own reflection and said, no more. I will no longer betray myself for the sake of comfort. The 99% are obsessed with efficiency, how to do things faster. The 1% are obsessed with effectiveness, doing the right things. You don't need a faster way to learn English. You need a deeper way to live your life. You need to perform a time autopsy. Take a piece of paper and write down every single thing you did yesterday. Every minute. Be brutal. Be honest. Look at the hours that bled away into nothingness. Those are the hours where your fluency died. Those are the hours where your future was stolen. Now, look at those hours and realize they are gone forever. You can't get them back, but you can stop the bleeding today. This is the raw, brutal reality of the Oasis. It is a place for the focused, for the obsessed, for the ones who have killed their excuses before their excuses could kill them. It is not a place for the busy. It is a place for the dedicated. If you want to reach the 1% level, you must stop behaving like the 99%. You must stop talking about your goals and start talking about your sacrifices. What are you willing to give up to find the Oasis? Are you willing to give up your comfort, your image, your precious, busy schedule? If the answer is anything less than everything, then stay in the desert. You belong there. But if you are ready, if you are tired of the lies, then welcome to the battlefield. The transition from a slave to a warrior starts with a single brutal question. Who is in charge of your time? You or your fear? The Oasis is waiting for those who are brave enough to kill their busy self so that their great self can finally breathe. Your life is not a dress rehearsal. This is the main event. And the clock is ticking. If you are ready to perform a coup d'etat on your own calendar, type "No more lies" in the comments. Let the world know that your excuses are dead. I am watching. I am waiting to see who is truly ready to seize their time. Part 1. The time autopsy. The death of dead time. Listen to the clock. Each tick is a drop of your life falling into the sand. Most of you treat time like an infinite resource. It isn't. It is a bleeding wound. The first step to joining the 1% is to perform a time autopsy. I want you to stop lying to me, and more importantly, stop lying to yourself. You say you don't have an hour to study? Fine. But you have 10 minutes to scroll. You have 15 minutes to sit in traffic. You have 5 minutes waiting for your coffee. In the Oasis, we don't look for blocks of time. We look for pockets of life. We are time snipers. We find the small, hidden gaps in your day and we fill them with the fire of English. Look at your dead time. This is the time where you are physically present but mentally absent. Commuting, cleaning, walking, waiting. The 99% kill this time with music, or brainless podcasts, or worse, silence filled with their own anxiety. The 1% colonize this time. They turn their car into a sanctuary. They turn their kitchen into a laboratory. They understand that fluency is built in the in-between. If you wait for a perfect, quiet moment at a desk with a candle lit, you will die waiting. The Oasis warrior trains in the noise. They train in the chaos. They speak to themselves while they walk. They listen to high-level English while they sweat. They have made the language their shadow. Let's talk about the 1-0-minute coup d'etat. Your brain is terrified of a 2-hour study session. It sees a mountain and it wants to run back to the desert. But your brain can handle 10 minutes. 10 minutes is nothing. It is a skirmish, not a war. The 1% system is built on these high-intensity skirmishes. 6 times a day, 10 minutes each. That is 1 hour of deep, focused immersion without the mental fatigue of a marathon. This is how you build a neural superhighway. You are hitting your brain with the language over and over again, never letting the fire go out. You are keeping the engine warm. While the 99% are planning their big study weekend, you have already completed 7 hours of training in the cracks of your life. Why does this work? Because of biological frequency. Your brain doesn't care how long you study. It cares how often you survive. When you speak English for 10 minutes, 6 times a day, you are telling your nervous system that English is a matter of survival. You are forcing it to stay alert. You are preventing the translation blockage from ever forming. You are becoming a creature of habit, not a creature of willpower. Willpower is weak. willpower is for the 99%. The 1% rely on systems. They have automated their greatness. Their phone is a weapon. Their headphones are a shield. Their environment is a trap designed to force them into growth. Now, look at your digital grave. Open your screen time settings. Be brave. Look at the numbers. 2 hours on social media? 3 hours on entertainment? That is not relaxation. That is an anesthetic. You are numbing yourself because you are afraid to face the reality of your own potential. You are trading your global future for a hit of dopamine. The 1% have a warrior's disdain for mindless consumption. They don't watch other people live. They live their own lives. They have replaced scrolling with shadowing. They have replaced liking with learning. They have realized that the busy excuse is just a mask for distraction. The time autopsy requires you to be brutal. You must cut out the fat. If a person, a habit, or an app is not helping you reach the oasis, it is a parasite. Kill it. You don't need more time. You need less trash. You need to clear the debris from your path so you can finally run. The 1% are the ones who have said no to 1,000 good things so they could say yes to the one great thing. English is that great thing. It is the bridge. It is the key. It is the weapon. Why would you trade a weapon for a toy? Ask yourself. If your life was a movie, would the audience be bored watching you scroll? Or would they be inspired watching you fight for every second? The 1% live a cinematic life because they respect the clock. They know that tomorrow is the place where dreams go to rot. They don't have study plans for next month. They have a battle plan for the next 10 minutes. They understand that the oasis is built one brick at a time, one pocket of time at a time, one breath at a time. This is the raw truth. You have all the time you need. You just don't have the stomach to use it. You would rather be busy and unsuccessful than focused and powerful. You are addicted to the chaos of the desert because it gives you an excuse to fail. Stop failing. Start sniping. Reclaim your minutes. Reclaim your life. The oasis is closer than you think, but it is hidden in the moments you are currently throwing away. We have reclaimed the time. But even with all the time in the world, most people still fail because they don't know what to do in those 10-minute pockets. They waste their energy on fake work. In part 2, I will show you the high-intensity drills that the 1% use to compress 10 years of learning into 10 months. Are you ready to stop studying and start executing? Part 2. The high-intensity drill, compressing time through focus. Time is not linear. It is emotional. You can spend an hour at a desk, staring at a grammar book, and learn absolutely nothing. That is low-intensity drift. It is the slow death of the 99%. Or you can spend 10 minutes in a state of absolute, visceral obsession and move further than most people do in a month. That is high-intensity focus. The 1% don't study English. They drill it. They treat every 10-minute pocket like a special forces mission. They are not here to be entertained. They are here to execute. Are you ready to stop playing and start performing a coup d'etat on your own limitations? The first drill of the Oasis warrior is the shadow hunt. Most of you listen to English like it's background music. You are passive. You are weak. In the 1% system, we don't just listen. We hunt. When you hear a native speaker, I want you to become their shadow. Not 5 seconds later, not a sentence later, but exactly at the same time. Feel the vibration of their voice. Mimic the stress, the rhythm, the pauses, and the raw emotion. If they are angry, you be angry. If they are calm, you be calm. You are not just learning words, you are stealing their soul. You are forcing your vocal cords to adopt a new DNA. This is shadowing with a survival instinct. If you aren't sweating after 10 minutes, you aren't doing it right. The second drill is the 1-minute autopsy. Take a single complex idea, something you are passionate about, something that matters to your legacy. Try to explain it in English in exactly 60 seconds. Your brain will panic. It will reach for the busy excuse. It will try to translate. Do not let it. Speak through the brokenness. Speak through the gaps. When the minute is up, stop. Perform an autopsy on your performance. What word did you miss? What bridge was broken? Find that one piece, fix it, and do it again, and again, and again. The 1% do this until the 60 seconds feel like an eternity of power. They compress 10 years of thinking into 1 minute of doing. Look at your neural friction. Every time you hesitate, that is friction. It is the sand in your gears. The 1% use high-intensity drills to burn that sand away. They use repetitive speed drills. Take one sentence, a powerful one. Say it slowly, then faster, then at the speed of light, then whisper it, then shout it. Change the emotion. Change the intent. You are treating the language like a martial art. You are building muscle memory so deep that your brain doesn't have time to interfere with the rules. While the 99% are still wondering why they can't remember a word, the warrior has already fired it like a bullet. This is the difference between knowledge and instinct. Stop doing fake work. Reading a list of vocabulary is fake work. Highlighting a book is fake work. Watching a top 10 tips video is fake work. It feels like progress, but it's just another form of being busy. Real work is uncomfortable. Real work makes your jaw ache. Real work makes your brain feel like it's being rewired. Because it is. The 1% prioritize active output over passive input. They know that you don't get stronger by watching someone else lift weight. You get stronger by struggling with the iron yourself. Are you struggling? Or are you just spectating? The 10-minute pocket is your battlefield. When you are waiting for the elevator, you are not checking your notifications. You are shadowing a mental conversation. When you are walking to your car, you are not thinking about your to-do list. You are performing a 1-minute autopsy on your last meeting. You have turned your entire life into a high-intensity training camp. This is how the 1% achieve in 6 months what others fail to do in 6 years. They have collapsed time through the sheer density of their focus. They have replaced duration with intensity. Ask yourself, how much of your English time is actually spent speaking? If it's less than 90%, you are wasting your life. You are a student, not a warrior. The Oasis is not a place for scholars. It is a sanctuary for practitioners. Every time you open your mouth, you are building your future. Every time you stay silent to check a rule, you are digging your grave in the desert. The 1% have a warrior's bias for action. They would rather say the wrong thing with total confidence than say the right thing with a shaking voice. They have realized that the world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you can do under pressure. This is the brutal efficiency of the Oasis. It requires a level of mental discipline that will exhaust you. It will be the hardest 10 minutes of your day, but it will also be the most rewarding, because at the end of that drill, you are not the same person who started it. You have shed a layer of the slave. You have grown a layer of the warrior. You have moved one step closer to the silent power that the 1% command. The clock is ticking. The pocket is open. What are you going to do with it? We have the time. We have the drills. But there is a final, secret enemy. It is the social desert. The people who will try to pull you back into being busy and normal. In part 3, I will show you how to protect your oasis from the 99% and how to build a tribe that forces you to grow. Are you ready to become socially unbreakable? Part 3. The social coup d'etat, protecting your oasis. Listen to the voices around you. Your friends, your family, your co-workers. They are the guardians of your mediocrity. When you start your high-intensity drills, when you stop being busy with their nonsense and start being obsessed with your English, they will react. They will call you obsessed. They will tell you to relax. They will ask why you are acting different. This is the social desert trying to pull you back into the sand. The 99% hate it when one of their own finds the oasis, because your progress is a mirror that reflects their own failure. To join the 1%, you must perform a social coup d'etat. You must protect your time like a fortress and your mind like a sanctuary. The first rule of the social coup d'etat is the silent execution. You don't need to announce your goals. You don't need to post your study plan on social media for accountability. Accountability from the 99% is just permission to fail together. The 1% work in the shadows. They kill their busy habits in silence. When someone asks you to waste your time on a triviality, you don't make an excuse. You don't say, "I'm busy studying English." You just say, "No." No is a complete sentence. It is the language of the powerful. Every time you say no to a distraction, you are saying yes to your legacy. You are drawing a line in the sand between the slave you were and the warrior you are becoming. Look at your circle of influence. Are they speakers or are they complainers? If you surround yourself with people who make excuses for their lack of time, you will eventually adopt their sickness. It is contagious. The 1% build a tribe of giants. They seek out those who are faster, sharper, and more obsessed than they are. They find environments where English is the only currency. If you cannot find this tribe in your physical world, you must build it in your digital world. Your feed should not be a distraction. It should be a battlefield. Every person you follow, every video you watch, should be a brick in your oasis. If it's not feeding your silent power, it's starving it. Now, let's talk about the public shadow. Most people are terrified of speaking English in front of people they know. They are afraid of being judged by their peers. This is a survival mechanism of the desert. In the oasis, we use this fear as fuel. We perform the public coup. I want you to speak English when it is inconvenient. Speak it when it is weird. Use your 10-minute pockets in the middle of a crowded office. Shadow a podcast while standing in line at the bank. Let them look at you. Let them whisper. Their judgment is the price of your freedom. The moment you stop caring about the opinion of the 99%, you have already won. You have achieved social autonomy. The 1% understand the law of association. Your brain is a mirror. If you spend your time with busy people, your brain will find ways to be busy. If you spend your time with fluent people, your brain will find ways to be fluent. It will subconsciously mimic their patterns, their confidence, and their survival instinct. You must aggressively filter your reality. You are the architect of your own environment. If your environment is making you weak, change the environment. Don't try to change the people in it. That is a waste of your silent power. Just move. Move toward the oasis. The ones who truly matter will follow you. The ones who don't will stay in the sand where they belong. This is the brutal boundary. You must stop being nice to people who steal your future. Your time is not a gift you owe to others. It is a debt you owe to your potential. When you give away an hour to a meaningless conversation, you are stealing an hour from the person you are meant to become. You are committing a crime against your own legacy. The 1% are selfish in the short term, so they can be impactful in the long term. They protect their oasis with a sword. They have no room for parasite. They have no room for dead time. They only have room for growth. Ask yourself, who are you trying to please? The 99% who will forget your name in a year? Or the person in the mirror who has to live with your choices for a lifetime? The oasis is a lonely place at first. It is quiet. It is intense. But it is the only place where true power is born. You must be willing to be misunderstood for a season, so you can be unmistakable for a lifetime. The social coup d'etat is not about being cruel. It is about being committed. It is about deciding that your English, your vision, and your survival are non-negotiable. This is the final step of the system. You have the time. You have the drills. Now you have the fortress. You have removed the last excuse. There is no one left to blame. No schedule to hide behind. No friends to hold you back. There is only the work. There is only the repetition. There is only the silent power of a warrior who has reclaimed their life. The 1% are waiting for you at the gates of the oasis. But you have to walk through the fire alone to get there. The system is complete. The fortress is built. But there is one final choice you must make. It is a choice that will determine if everything you just heard was a transformation or just another busy distraction. Are you ready for the outro? It's time to face the mirror one last time. Listen to the silence of the room around you. That silence is the sound of your life passing by. We have dismantled the lie of being busy. We have performed an autopsy on your wasted hours. We have built a system of high-intensity fire and a fortress to protect your soul. But now, as the screen fades to black, you are left with the most brutal reality of all. Knowledge is not power. Execution is power. Most of you will leave this video and feel a temporary high, a dopamine hit of inspiration. You will feel like you've already changed. But you haven't. Unless you pick up your sword right now, you are still just a slave dreaming of freedom. Imagine yourself on your deathbed. Look at that version of you, old, tired, gasping for the last few breaths of a life that is almost over. That person is looking back at today. They are looking at the busy excuses you made. They are looking at the hours you traded for mindless scrolling. They are looking at the oasis you never reached because you were too afraid to be uncomfortable. That version of you is screaming. They are screaming at you to wake up. They are begging you not to let their potential die in the sand. Every time you say, "I'm too busy for English," you are murdering the person you were meant to become. You are committing a slow, silent suicide of your own legacy. The 1% are not special. They are just people who realize that someday is a lie told by the devil. They understood that the only time that exists is now. They realized that the pain of discipline is a feather compared to the crushing weight of regret. Regret is the only thing that will follow you into the dark. It is a debt that can never be repaid. Do you want to be the person who almost spoke English? The person who almost changed their life? Or do you want to be the warrior who walked through the fire and claimed the oasis? The world does not care about your intentions. It only cares about your results. This is the brutal rebirth. To live a life of silent power, the person who made excuses must stay in the desert. You must leave them behind. You must let the busy slave die so the obsessed warrior can live. Your English is not a skill to be learnt. It is a life to be claimed. It is the bridge to every room you've ever wanted to enter. It is the key to every dream you've ever dared to have. But the bridge is only for those who are brave enough to cross it. The key is only for those who are strong enough to turn it. The sun is setting on your excuses. The desert is growing cold. The oasis is waiting, but its gates are closing. You have the time. You have the tools. You have the truth. The only thing left is the choice. Who are you? Are you a liar? Or are you a warrior? Welcome to the oasis. Your work begins now. If you have truly killed the lie of being busy, subscribe to the English Oasis and turn on notifications. We do not accept excuses here. We only accept evolution. Type executed in the comments if you have officially ended your old life. I am watching. Your legacy starts in the next 10 minutes. Don't waste them